At the cognitive level, we studied 5 levels, cognitive, Bloom's taxonomy. We had knowledge, understanding, application, reflection, I'm doing this, analysis, synthesis and evaluation. In the taxonomy, we have also 5 levels. We have receiving, then responding, valuing, organizing, characterization. Those are the 5 levels. But when you're dealing with value development, the affective domain, the first one is important, where the teachers have to play a very active role in the first one, not in the next 4. Okay? And so we will spend some time just understanding. And the first 3 steps are important. The 4th and the 5th are which becomes then slowly by repetition it becomes a second nature. But we try to understand the first one because that is a place where the teacher has an important role. So the first one is basically talking about receiving. If you want students to pick up certain values, they need to be exposed to the values. Take for example, you want students to develop an attitude of teamwork. You expose them to teamwork. Or if you want something of keeping the place neat and clean, you expose them to an area which is neat and clean. If you are talking about, say, ecological, sensitive to nature, then you expose them to that. That means you need to expose students to those situations so that they are able to receive a stimulus from those situations. Because values are not taught, but they are caught. So, to help students to pay attention to those situations, to pay attention indirectly, we expose them to the situation. So, at this level, the learner shows sensitivity to a certain stimuli. That means we need to bring students in contact with the stimulus. It is like the teacher catching the student's attention. Awareness, willingness to receive, curiosity are important sub-levels of this objective. From the teaching point of view, receiving is concerned with getting, holding, directing the student's attention. That means whatever you do to direct the student's attention to a particular value, it is called receiving. And so it is very important to create curiosity, to create a disposition, a positive disposition towards that value. And then what are the things happen? There are 3 steps there. The first one is a general awareness. The students is ready now to receive, and then you have selective response. And then you have those keywords there. So what is the first thing? Always remember, in value education, that's what we say, we have to become role models. You want students to have a very loving relationship. They are found in research now. If the husband and wife are constantly fighting with each other, the students somewhere pick up that value of disrespect towards each other. And if he understands, the role model is that when I get married, I should also fight. That's the value that you pick up. Suppose you pick up a value where the parents show respect to the children, dialogues with them, the child also picks up that value. So it is very important at this stage, especially if you are talking at the primary levels and at the secondary 1 and 2, to expose them to this situation. After we have exposed them to this situation, their second stage is called responding. Now in responding there are 3 stages, and this is something that we all teachers have to become aware. He may respond because of certain pressure, because the principal told him do it, the teacher told him do it. Parents, he does it because of certain pressure, then he does it willingly, and the third stage is you get joy in doing it. Okay? So, but everybody goes to that stage. That is, you do under certain pressure. Why are you doing this? Because the MOE wants it. That's all. Why are you doing this? I like to do it. Why are you doing this? I enjoy doing it. 3 different levels. But only when you enjoy doing something, you are talking at the stage of values. If you do not enjoy doing something, a thing is not a value. It is done under pressure. Okay? So one of the things is you want to see what is the values on certain things, say in your staff, with your peers. See where they feel really joy in doing certain things. That will indicate a value. So the indication of the value is, do you enjoy doing something? Now take for example, some people will enjoy, not that it is not possible to cook every day, but some people who enjoy cooking, then make sure. And their sole talk is about value, the books reading is about cooking, everything is on cooking only, those who enjoy doing. Suppose you enjoy, say, reading, everything will be on reading. So what you enjoy doing gives you an indication of value. So take for example, you want a student to pick up a value, say, on cooperation or collaboration in studies, or say collaborative approach to studies. Okay, we must help other students in our study. The first time we will say, to do that, you will have to bring students in a group, give them a poem or a collage. Now you all work together and put your ideas together. That means you must give them what we call create a situation in which he is drawing his attention to the value. Then he does it because of pressure. If he's put into group, then suddenly you notice that he's not only doing it, he's doing it willingly. You can choose, you can work alone or you can choose a group. He will join the group and then he gets the joy into it. That's the question of responding. The third stage is valuing. Now valuing is another thing is, the student sees the worth or the value in the subject or activity or assignment. An important element of the behavior characterized by valuing is that she is motivated not by the desire to comply or obey, but his commitment to the underlying value. Here we are going to the third stage. Because I'm committed, so I'm doing this thing. So acceptance of a value, preference of a value, commitment to the value. So these are, when we are talking about value education in small children, kindly pay attention to these three stages. And then you have the keywords and all those sort of things you can do. The fourth and the fifth is becoming part and parcel of one life. Or prioritizing your values, and then a person is known because this value often shines in his life. So for small kids then, teachers, when we are talking about certain value education, it is not so much the content that you teach them, but rather how you expose such children to a situation, to an activity in which they are exposed to that value. Is that first point clear? So you must make sure the content is there, but the content should be shown in the form of an activity, it should be shown in the form of a role play, it should be shown in the form of a collage, or whatever it is. You expose that value in any form that you want. The first stage is exposing so that he is able to receive. So you have a role play, you have a collage, you have debates, you have an activity, whatever you want to do, but first you need to expose the student. And so your creativity will be, if the stimulus is powerful, it will have an impact on the student. If your stimulus is weak, he will not be moved to respond. So you need to plan your classes. Your value education class, you plan it so that the stimulus is very powerful, the stimulus is attractive, the students then is paying attention, is focusing on what is happening, is getting involved with what is happening, then he will respond to the situation. Is this point clear to you? Okay. So just go to the paper in case you need any clarification. but only focus the major role of the teacher is on number 1. The number 2 and 3 is for the teacher to observe it in the students, okay, and to guide the students. But you do not have an active role in stage 2 and 3. 4 and 5 is a natural process. 4 and 5 is a natural process. Looking at primary level, say grade 5, we call it grade or class. What do you call it? Primary 5. So suppose we have primary 5 and we would like the students something in cooperation. Now in the first stage, what can we teachers do so that the students is paying attention to cooperation? What can we do? Some ideas? What can we do? You want to bring about, expose the child to this value of cooperation. You see there are about 10 children not mixing with others, do not want to share, they are all selfish guys, and you want to bring these students, expose them to this. So what will you do as teachers? For these 10 students, suppose you want to expose them and a few other students, what will you do? What are the different possibilities? There's no right, only one way. It could be many ways. So what are some ways you could do? Expose the students. Yes? Pardon?
Jigsaw puzzle.
Huh?
Involve them in completing a jigsaw puzzle.
Okay, involve them in completing a jigsaw puzzle. Anything else?
Teamwork games.
Huh?
Teamwork games.
Teamwork games. Tell them to do it. Okay. What else? So you must get a stimulus which they feel inclined to do. You know, puzzles, something of a competition, whatever they enjoy at that level. Something that they enjoy doing, you feel that they will get involved in it. So you must focus on that sort of strategy. Okay. The second thing is the responding. In the responding, he will do when he's told initially, only when the teacher reminds him, okay students, now let's pay attention. Then everybody keeps quiet. So keeping quiet in the class is still not a value. Okay. Then they need to be told. Okay. So, and then the second stage is willingly, as the teacher comes and she gives, after a minute everybody keeps quiet, it has become a value. And some people would simply say, come on, let's get the class moving. You know? So that's because it is a more joyful experience. So this is the first stage. So if you're dealing with young children, primary, if you're dealing with, say, even secondary, maybe 1 and 2, this would be of great help to them. You got a point clear? And what are the stages, what are the questions, all the details are here. Now many of you are working in the high school, and so I want to pay a little bit more attention at that level.